everyone, and welcome to our, thank you, this is regular, so that's 3 minutes. So, because it's not, so that's 1 minute. Anyway, our committee of the whole meeting, today for August 6th. Mayor Urban is unable to make it tonight, so I'll be chairing on his behalf. I don't believe there are any changes to the agenda, so if we can please have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll make the motion to adopt the agenda as posted.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Paquette, Councillor Burtis. All in favor? So moving along, we need to adopt the draft minutes from the regular council meeting of July 16th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to draft the draft minutes of the meeting on July 16th, 2024.
No, and that.
Thank you. Any comments? Okay. All in favor? Passed. So we also need a motion to pay the open payables in the amount of $664,285.15.
I'll make a motion to pay the open bills.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Comments, questions?
I'm not gonna go. Yeah, 62499.
624. Grant tractor, that is the crawler over to the landfill supposed to be.
And then 62516.
116. Government and Yukon property assessment, that was
No, mine's it's sort of fire and work.
oh, sorry, which one, 6?
Yeah, I'm 62516.
Oh, 16,
Yeah, no,
that is work on for the public waste drop off there.
okay. Those are the only two I really, thank you.
I have the same questions. Anyone else?
All of the looks like landfill, that's us just adding to the bringing cash down to the recycling center that fails for recycling.
No, that's the, sorry,
It says looks like recycling depot several times.
yes, that is our petty cash for the landfill for recycling center.
Gotcha.
Okay, anything else?
And 62483.
62483.
$5.
Yeah, that is the new flag order there, but that was the last of the payment on the flag order for all the new flags.
Okay,
Thank you, everybody asked what I wanted.
And 6490 Vikings.
Yeah, that is, that was parts for the flush truck.
Okay.
is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor? Passed. Okay, so. Moving on to the public hearing for zoning amendment bylaw 2024-08. Just gonna read this here. There it is. Okay, so the council of the town of Watson Lake is currently in the process of passing bylaw 2024-08, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2023-05. If adopted, zoning bylaw 2023-05 would be amended in the following manner. Caretaker residence would be added to section 15.5.2 as an allowable principal use in the airport zone. So council has established today, August 6th, as the date to hear and consider all verbal and written submissions related to the proposed amendment. So I need a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Thank you.
Your worship, there were 25 written submissions. Them two were against the zoning change, and one was a submission that was ineligible because of the submission was by people that are not, not property owners or residents of Lost Lake.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So we'll open it up to the floor. So we'll just go around if anyone, whoever wishes to provide.
Do you read out the letters that came in against, or read that?
No,
Like, I think in the past, Mayor Irvin has done that.
yeah, that was, it's up to the worship if they want to do it, but the practice is that the fors and against aren't really read into the record. They're provided to council for their documentation.
Oh, okay, so we don't have an option then to respond in case there's misinformation there or anything like that. That'll be the council decide if they really understand the issues or if they're missing.
That's correct.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Harder.
Sure, so we'll start with Rick.
Yeah, I'm here to personally agree with the change.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay,
Can I just ask a question? So I'm the Air Charter Service Company, and we've been there for 30 years, longer. So I have the dog hand. You can't rent something there?
Do you have,
The way the bylaw reads, could you maybe read it out to us, to me?
under the definition, under the definition of a caretaker, if the zoning is changed to allow for a caretaker, then caretaker is either the owner or an employee of the employee of the company that owns the property that can live on site. So,
So anybody I employ can
yes,
live on site.
that is correct.
If the bylaw changes
Yeah, the
that.
bylaw changes this, it's correct. That's under the definition of caretaker.
Gordon.
I would, I'll go on the record as supporting it. I look around the community of Watson Lake and I look at the industrial zones, the M1 or the M2s and ones, everybody's allowed a caretaker's residence all through the industrial commercial zones. Most of them don't have such a thing, but even in some, you go around Canyon Boulevard and look around and there's a lot of residences that are there that there's no commercial businesses whatsoever. In around Canyon Boulevard, you'll see quite a few places there, and they've been allowed to be able to stay there over all these years and be there. And I look back to when I was on the OCP, we were looking at having airport properties out at the airport, and you could buy a property there and then build a hangar in front of your house. But even at the time, we were advised not to restrict it, that it could be residences out there. But it would be, make the option, make it available for that access to the airport, and then they could actually do that. And that went along quite well, it was progressing pretty well, and it was looking like it was gonna happen, but then like other things, economics, interests. People that were interested at the time moved away, and there was no desire to do such a thing, but. I look at the lake shores, the person that lives out the lake, we've been out there since '87, and we've watched airplanes come and go, and it's always been amazing. It's just a great thing to have around. We've never had a complaint ever about the pilots and the industry itself at the airport, so. But looking at how the residences out there, I don't really think that would be encourageable myself, because we know that, like, in this case, the people that build a house there, they're not gonna build something that's half whatever. And like much like myself, thinking of retirement, you might not stay in Watson Lake that long. It's gonna be a very desirable property for somebody to go outside, and economically for the town, the tax base alone is gonna be. It's a taxable property, it's gonna be, and it's gonna end up with, something on it, so. But there's also other lots out there that are similar, like, the one that Randy sold there beside that is still set up for airport, it's got a bunkhouse on it now, but that may get sold, or somebody may want to develop that and put a house on it, or even like Darwin, there's got a couple lots and stuff. And I just look at the long-term picture there is, you know, won't be that many years, maybe some of you guys won't be sitting there, they may not be sitting here, but those properties are always gonna be there. And what's the most viable thing for the community wants of money? It's a tax base, we need it. I mean, they're gonna do something with it, and, you look around the rest of the community, that everybody's got properties or residents on properties that they're not even using for the design thing, so. I would encourage that it be accepted and amended accordingly and allow for caretakers residents and go from there. So,
Thank you, Gordon. Would anybody else like to say something?
Guess I'd like to say I am in favor of it, but I didn't clarify that in the beginning.
I do believe we have a written submission from you, actually, as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, but thank you.
But I've also had vandalism go on down there and, you know, Lois has always been great at kind of watching things, but, you know, she is getting a little up there in years and might not quite as observant as, you know, others might be. And so any additional eyes is greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Sorry, just one moment, you, Randy. Linda.
I agree with the majority of people here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Randy?
Yeah, I was just gonna add that, you know, over the course of the years, yeah, I got a young guy siphoning some gas out of one of the vehicles and stuff, and one of the planes came loose once a while back. I mean, there's just things like that. I'm not saying that we're gonna be there 24/7, but between Lois there and us, and then the pilots, when they're in town, yeah, they're there in the bunkhouse now, but when they're not. But even just having a home there with a patio and some windows and car park there, maybe you're not there, but it just adds to that level of security. You know, they're all, well, seemingly minor things, but then I don't own $1 million aircraft there. It doesn't, it's not exactly minor, and you do have elements of vandalism or something, but I just kind of threw that out there.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone else want to speak for or against the amendment? Nargis? Anybody? Okay. So we do have a couple of people in the gallery, Zoom gallery, so we can just check in with them. I believe one we have a written submission from, so. Not sure, and the other one,
Is Patty?
Patty. Do you have something to add for the public hearing?
Hi, yes, thanks for your patience. The mute button is slow for me. I just want to say that I'm in favor of this amendment to the zoning bylaw. I think it's a fairly minor amendment, and I think it has limited application, so I would be in favor of it.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so I think that's everyone then.
Ask one more question?
Sure.
I can't see who's on Zoom. My eyes aren't that good, so can you
Yeah.
maybe tell us who's on Zoom?
Yeah, Mary Palmer and Patty Cook.
And then us.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so if no one has anything further to add for the public hearing, I need a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Second, yeah, thank you. And all in favor, sorry. Pass. So now what will happen is, we do need to discuss this, but it will happen at the next committee of the whole meeting. Where we will have a fulsome discussion on it, and then, it will go forward for a second reading, at the meeting after that, the regular meeting in September. Okay, so thank you everybody for participating, and, yeah, so I guess we'll move on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but second and third final reading can be done in the same meeting?
Yes, the last two readings have done.
What's the timeline for that?
So our next meeting is September 3rd, excuse me, September 3rd. And then, the regular meeting after that will be September 17th.
So it could be passed on by the 17th, is what you're saying?
Okay. So we'll move along to the CAO report. Did you want to present on that? Because we just got it this afternoon, I think.
Sure.
Thank you.
So your worship, for the updates on our infrastructure project, Norcope has completed the water and sewer line on Adela Trail. They're currently finishing the work on 8th Street between Frank and Stikine. They've started working on the sewer line replacement on Stikine. Tintina, part of Tintina's had the water, has been reconnected to the water main. The other half is currently awaiting testing results. And then all the houses on Stikine will be back, or Tintina, sorry, will be back on water and sewer mains. Once they're done on Tintina with the sewer, then they're gonna come back and complete the water connections all the way down. Rec Center scoping for the renovations. Work is progressing on the draft report, but it's been delayed till the end of August before it comes to administration. The community hall renovations, as you remember from last meeting, council decided not to go ahead with the tender based on recommendations. And we're waiting on a costing review of the tender to see where it should fall in dollars and cents, to see if our estimates were in the ballpark. So that's coming. HVAC, the design continues on with the tenders currently design continues with tenders currently anticipated to be published in sometime in November, December for the HVAC work. Then work would be completed in the spring and summer of 2025. Boiler replacement has been added to the scope of work for the admin and NLC buildings. So that would give us new boilers instead of 25-year-old boilers in both buildings.
Sorry, that would be, wait if you, that's included in that HVAC project?
Yes. We added the scope. The dry hydrant project, administration is researching funding options, which will be presented to council later in the year, which would probably fall in the budget cycle. There's some funding pots that we're looking at under climate change. So we'll work to that as it goes along. Francis Avenue extension. Lot development is complete. City contracting is currently completing the road construction with final capping and leveling. Hard surfacing will take place next spring. That gives it time for the road to settle and everything will be trued up over the winter. Power installation to the property lines will be completed by ATCO later this fall. The lift station build continues with the construction of the lift station building currently underway. When I was there this morning, they were sheeting the roof. Backup power line has been dug in from the water treatment plant. And then the next thing that will take place will ATCO will run the main power, but once the building's up, then there's all the controls and stuff that have to be done. Public waste drop off area. The only outstanding items on this project are the completion of the wiring and installation of lights standards. We're currently waiting on the repairs to the landfill one-ton truck. We had an issue with the fuel pump and its parts were back ordered. Apparently they came in this morning. Start operation of the drop off area. Roll off bins are currently on site waiting for rollout. Information on the operation guidelines for the public drop off area will be coming out in the next few weeks. Stay tuned. So that's Patrick will be working on as well. Other things that aren't on the report, the new town crier came out yesterday. Cool. Afternoon. So there's hard copies at the grocery store. Yeah, a couple locations in town, and it's available electronically, so it'll be on the website.
Should they get mailed or?
No, we don't yet.
Oh, I thought maybe that happened the first time that.
No,
Oh, good.
no. Could we change that? Cause it's like, what, $180 to do a mail drop?
The big cost is the printing of 300 copies in color to go in the mail.
She's only the one sheet of paper.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then the other thing, we did have a fire at landfill today, response from our staff was, excellent. They were, our landfill attendant was able to get dirt on it, to try and snuff it out before the fire department got there, and then, response from the fire department was quick, and once they were on scene, then they uncovered the area that had been burning and got it all, got the fire out and, stayed on scene, but actually using thermal imaging, cameras to make sure there was no more hot spots, so we got very lucky there, but it's the 4th time we've had a fire out there in the last 2 years, but last one was a lithium battery.
Oh, I was gonna ask you what causes that.
Yeah, so this one I'm not sure, because it was a load that came in from Silvertip online, and so it wasn't definitely anyone there, so we're not sure if somebody flipped the smoke when they were there, or who knows. Anyways, it was undetermined the cause, but at least it was out and the response was good, so, which was really nice. The other thing that's going on, we're conducting interviews again tomorrow for the director of finance positions.
How many applicants did you get?
We had 5 this go around, four, and we're interviewing 2.
Okay.
Are any of them local?
Unfortunately not. We'll know more tomorrow. But that's my report for today.
Awesome, thank you.
I
appreciate John, you're the leader. Okay, these are the questions for open forum. Okay, so we'll move on. Next we have some correspondence, this is correspondence. First one is from Queer Yukon. So I'll just read that out. So I'm writing to you as a representative of Queer Yukon. We are planning to celebrate Pride Month in the city of Watson Lake this August. I'm reaching out to seek your support for this significant event. Queer Yukon is committed to fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment for all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. In light of this, we would like to hold a flag raising ceremony to honor the 2S LGBTIA+ community and celebrate Pride Month. We propose to hold the ceremony on August 16th, 2024 at 12 p.m. The support of the city is crucial in making this event a success. Raising the pride flag in a public space is not just a symbolic gesture, it represents acceptance, equality, and the shared commitment to creating a safe space for everyone in our community. It sends a powerful message to 2S LGBTIA+ individuals that are seen, valued, and supported. We would be honored to have the mayor and town councilors to participate in this event. Their presence would signify the city's dedication to diversity and inclusion, providing visible support to those who may feel marginalized. The involvement of the town's leadership would be a profound statement of solidarity and encouragement to the community in Watson Lake. Your support and the participation of town officials would mean a great deal to us and help reinforce the value of acceptance and unity. Together, we can make Watson Lake a shining example of a community that embraces all its members with respect and dignity. So, I guess I wasn't sure what the ask was. It does say that they want us to participate in the ceremony, but I wasn't sure what that meant as far as.
So your worship, Austria is in the room, so.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm here.
I see you. Sure. Do you wanna maybe just give us a little bit more info on that? I just wasn't sure if, like, are we raising the flag? Are you raising the flag? Do you want us just to attend, or did you want us?
No, I would like if the mayor and the council, they can raise a flag. The community, I'm going to ask the community if they can be there to support us.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay, thank you. So right away, we have one issue, and that's we do not have enough flag poles to accommodate another flag. So I was discussing this with Cam earlier, and we had a bit of a solution if everyone's on side with it.
Yeah, so your worship, there's a couple options. One is that, for the time period, whatever council agrees to, we can take down the town of Watson Lake flag. And put the pride flag up, or the other option is, we can take down the town flag, raise the pride flag during the ceremony. And then what we could do is take it back down, put the town flag up with the pride flag flying below it. So there's two options. Those are, unfortunately, we only have 3 poles. I know other communities like Whitehorse have extra poles for special flag raisings, or events. But Watson Lake does not.
Thank you. I personally am in favor of the second option. I guess we didn't have a discussion
Like
about.
raise it and then put down.
Take down the town flag,
Yeah,
put the pride flag up for the ceremony, then take it down, replace the town flag, and then put the pride flag underneath the town flag. For the duration of the month.
just for the month, though, right? Like, it's this time frame. Okay.
Expect to pay for a month, or is it just for the ceremony?
It stays up for the month, correct?
Yes, possible that.
Okay, so, but we're halfway through the month this time, so. We have, okay. Any
No.
comments?
Yeah, I mean, Pride Month is generally June. Not August, but, I mean, you don't wanna appear bigoted by any means and refuse a request. I wish we had a flagpole. I wish we also had like another spot for like, an LFN flag there, which they requested that we put up. We haven't done that. I've got no problem with it, like personally, I think it's great,
So.
but as far as like leaving it up for a month. And like taking the town flag down, I wish we had done.
So
we don't.
just to circle back to what we had said, it was to put it beneath the town flag?
For a month.
Yes,
Well, we
and then,
to decide on the time.
yes.
Time, I'm not saying that it has to be up to the month.
So the other thing that I was hoping that administration would look into for us is the cost analysis on putting another flagpole. Or,
Another two.
well, that's like a discussion that we can have, but I think to at least know how much it's gonna cost to do that, so that we, like Cam said, the city of Whitehorse, we were talking with, and they were having the same issue where they wanted to put up a special flag, but they only had 3 flagpoles, and of course, there's a protocol. So what they ended up doing was taking down the city flag temporarily to put up a special flag for that year, and I believe that was last year. This year, what they did was purchase 3 more poles, flagpoles, 2 for the First Nations in Whitehorse, and then for their flags, and then 1 for special flags. So if you go to City Hall now, they have 6 flags out front, they have 5 on one side, and then they have a special flag just to the side there. So again, not knowing how much those cost, I would be interested in knowing what the price is, and then having that conversation to maybe get another flagpole, and then of course we have to discuss where it's going to go up front as well, because where the 3 are currently, there's not really room in there for another one, so we would have to talk about where out front that would go, but there's like options, obviously, so I think that that's something that we should maybe look into.
Can we put it into the minutes to look come budget time for money specifically for that? So we don't forget.
Thank you. But as far as this letter and this year, I'm personally am in favor of sort of last.
Yeah,
Okay.
figured that was still.
Okay, so we do need to set on a time frame. Unfortunately, it is halfway through the month. So I guess I was anticipating it being like August 1st to August 31st. But then going up on the 16th, does it come down on the 1st or? Because I think it would be kind of nice to, not to mix 2 things together, but to have an orange flag for September.
Agreed.
So for this year, do we say 16th to the 31st?
Yeah,
I'm in favor of that.
And then next year, if possible, if we could do
green light.
the beginning of the month.
Like the
Yeah,
rest of the
okay.
country?
Sorry?
We went in June.
Well, your worship, in the Yukon, White Horse just celebrated their events this weekend.
Is it,
Yeah. I'm not, let's do some
Dawson,
research, but
Dawson City held theirs at a different time, so it was different in Dawson.
because I think there's maybe national and then I'm not sure, honestly. Anyway, so do we need a motion?
yeah,
Okay, so a motion to raise the pride flag on August 16th as part of the Queer Yukon ceremony for the time frame of August 16th to August 31st, 2024.
I'll second it.
No, you have to make a motion.
Oh, I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councilor Curtis.
No.
All in favor? Passed. Any opposed? Okay, I'm gonna post. Do you want to record it? Sure. For that, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, and then, yeah, we can, at the time, maybe look at the flagpoles. So moving on, we do have another, correspondence. Please.
I gotta do a conflict of interest on that.
Thank you. So you all.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilor Burdiss. In case anybody did not hear that, Councilor Burdiss is declaring a conflict, so he's going out into the hall. So I will read this letter out. This is from Signpost Services, also known as Wellsite Tags. So it says, to Mayor and Council, I'm writing to request the renewal of the support letter originally issued in May 2013 for Signpost Services Limited purchase of lots 50 to 55, block 27 from the Yukon Territorial Government. The initial purchase was not completed at that time, and we are now in the process of continuing the transaction. An updated letter of support is crucial for the success of our application. So there was a letter of support provided to the owner at that time from the council of that time in favor of whatever these lots are. So I'm just hoping to get a little bit more information from admin, just because I don't know what area they're actually talking about.
Yeah, so your worship, those lots are unopened lots which are at the end of the tags, current tags count revenues. They were lots that have been they were surveyed lots that have been on the books with YG for I'm not sure how many years, probably from the 80s or more. There's no proposed development in that area, and it butts along interim protected land.
So is there any issue with that from an administrative standpoint?
I'm sure that there will be some feedback from the First Nation on it. There is no road that actually goes in to access those lots.
And do we know what the intended use is?
And use.
That's okay.
Permissions on it.
Okay. And so the letter of support would just be to, I don't know, I guess I don't understand that.
Well, usually your worship, when requests come in for opening their lots that aren't currently on the books of White Yukon government, the request goes into EMR, Lands Branch, for requests of slot zoning or opening of lots. And that's what would have to be with this. They would go in and then they'd need a support letter to say, give the EMR the go ahead and even look at it. There's no guarantee EMR will approve it. As we've dealt with Kevin Risco's property down here, where council supported extension of his property onto another vacant surveyed area. Even though council of the day has supported it twice, EMR Lands Branch came back and said they wouldn't support it or do the transaction. So that could be the same that'll take place with this. It's yeah, you're at the will of Yukon government, and then they seek feedback from, of course, the municipality and from the First Nation as well.
So why would the Land Branch refuse it?
It's a very good question. when with the Risto property, they did not give any ruling or reasoning why. So, council that they supported it because of the fact that it would, as a airport zone, it would bring in more taxes and more income to the community, which is a good thing. But ENR had different ideas for it and said no. I think maybe part of the reason it was because it butted against interim protected land over there as well. So, but I would truthfully, before I give a full opinion on that, on this, I would like to know exactly what the purpose of it was as well.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the idea behind like what's going on there rather than just like, hey, we'd like to buy this, can we buy? Are you guys okay with that?
Well, I was just talking to Dale and he said they want to expand their RV park.
But yeah, there's nowhere in the correspondence that they
It's just
provided.
hard to know what we're supporting.
Yeah, and what happened, because we wrote a letter of support in 2013 for this, maybe not this council, because that was a little while ago,
Were you here?
probably, but. What happened, like what's happened to Kibosh? Did it just never go forward? It wasn't
It just
pursued?
says that purchase was not completed at that time, so.
You know, like, without knowing the other details or like,
And Toner owned it at that time, is my understanding, so it's hard to know what happened there.
And your worship, the other thing, depends on the usage that they want to do, because that brings in the OCP in play. Is it actually OCP compliant? Because that area might be reserved as residential and not commercial.
or land set aside or that alternate road. that was once-
I know for sure these 5 lots that are in question are not in land set aside. They butt up against land set aside, but depending on what the purpose is that Tag wants to do with it, is it OCP compliant? Because it might trigger zoning and OCP in the same process that we're dealing with that we have the public hearing tonight.
So. Will you please respond to them and ask them for a little more information then, before we make the decision?
I can.
Perfect, everyone's in agreement with that?
Yeah, what happened last time, intended purpose. What happened, like, the letter, I guess, is 11 years old, probably wouldn't, just a little bit more information.
I mean, we have a copy of the support letter from last time, but it doesn't have any more information. It just says, council approves the extension of Chappie Road that runs adjacent to these lots. And so that's just that area from what I understand.
Well, it says it also approves the extension of Chappie Road to run that one there, so it's.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
5 lots plus the road extension.
And maybe if we could include a map that has the surveyed lots, so you can actually see what you're looking at, or what you're looking for.
Well, you're correct, your worship, because we don't even know what the original intent was when Mr. Tomer replied. You know, what his intention was, because the letter that's on file from 2013 is very vague. It doesn't talk about
Yeah,
the use or the zoning or compliance or any of that. So
okay, great. So we'll get some more information and then we'll discuss this at the next meeting.
you'll bring it back, your worship, to the next meeting.
Great, thank you. So. Councilman Dale, you can back into it, please. Thank you.
Nah, just look for it.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on, we're going to discuss the general maintenance bylaw 2023-011. I'm just gonna read this admin report, just so you know where we're at, and then we'll just have a quick conversation and go from there. So, the purpose of this admin report is to provide council with an update on the progress of the general maintenance bylaw. Council started the process of reviewing the general maintenance bylaw on September 19th, 2023, and discussed the proposed changes in public forum at the town hall meeting held on November 21st, 2023, and again at the town hall meeting on May 15th, 2024. This bylaw has had first reading. So prior to second reading, administration sent the draft bylaw for legal opinion and consulted the Public Works Department about some of the areas that affect their department. Additional community input has also been since received for council's consideration. So, and here is a summary. So the legal review, there were no major concerns with the draft bylaw. Most of the proposed amendments are broadening definitions, removing unnecessary definitions, and changing language to make it clearer. Legal counsel is still investigating whether or not the town can legally transfer unpaid fines onto property tax accounts and collect through the property tax lien process. Amendments based on legal input have not yet been made to the attached draft bylaw. However, these changes will be done prior to the second reading of the bylaw. And then, so we did get some notes from Public Works, and then a couple of public comments. Public Works provided input on snow removal for council's consideration. Snowplows pushed to the end of driveways or on the corners of properties and not cleared away cause safety issues as it limits visibility for vehicle operators. Examples given were children playing on snow piles and drivers unable to see them, or vehicles having limited visibility when pulling out of a driveway due to the large snow piles. Businesses piling snow on the highway, right of way and or ditches is a problem and should not be allowed. The accumulated snow creates drainage issues in the ditches and during heavy snowfall years. And during heavy snowfall years cost thousands of dollars to remove. They do not agree that people living on a greenbelt should be able to push snow across the roadway. The reason being, those snow piles then build up on the ditches, causing drainage issues, and also the large snow piles harden over the course of the winter, and when Public Works is peeling or widening the roadways, their grader blades catch on the hardened snow piles and damage the grader blades. Another point was snow should have to be piled near the back of the property or removed from the property. Public Works suggested that we allow a public access for snow dumping, and they recommended one of the snow dump areas in the industrial area of town or other designated areas. Trapping is always an ongoing issue. The town attempts to use the grader trap whenever possible. However, the trap does not work effectively when there is a heavy snowfall, as the snow spills over the top and creates a windrow. The trap is also ineffective if driveways are close together, as there is no space for the trap snow to go. Currently, there is nothing in the bylaw that speaks to snow traps. However, there is a separate policy about snow removal. This is just information that Public Works wanted to share, because we do mention snow removal in the maintenance bylaw. So those are just some comments from Public Works. We do have a couple of public comments that came in afterwards. Oh, sorry, there's one more now from Public Works here. Public Works also suggested that there be a section added about vehicles parked or stored on the road right of way. Vehicles left on the road right of way affect snow removal, street sweeping, and other road maintenance. So the public comments were, it was suggested that there be a section added to address boondocking on properties where it is not zoned for such use. Administration has not yet found an example of another bylaw that addresses this, but if council wants to investigate this, they will look into it. And then also it was suggested that anyone with a lawn must maintain or mow the lawn a minimum of once every 2 weeks and not allowed to be taken over by dandelions and other weeds. So, the recommendation from administration is that, oh, sorry, did you want us to discuss this tonight? Did we supposed to discuss this tonight? Oh,
Yeah, that was
Okay.
the main part of the following previously.
Oh, okay, I was like, I feel like they're. Okay, so, those points have not been added into the draft? They have now, okay. So discussion on those bits. I just had one about the snow, right off the bat about, the snow having to be removed from the property. I just wonder like how people are gonna do that. If they
That
don't
was
have a
my
bobcat,
concern.
and then if you do have to hire somebody, the amount that's going to add on to just having to get your yard cleared multiple times for winter, I just don't know how that's
There's a
feasible.
lot of people that don't even do that.
So,
'Cause they
yeah,
can't afford it.
so I just don't know how you're expected to.
Yeah, there's,
I mean, it's not saying that you have to like remove all the snow, but it's just saying if you have a pile at the end of the,
oh no,
not what it's.
no, in the actual bylaw, if you read on section 7.02.
I do have that here.
And 7.02 and 7.01 and 9.02 that I have issue with.
7.01, you said, right?
Well, 7 point, no person shall place snow removed from private property on public highways, public lands adjacent to the highways or private property of others. I get that, you can't jump your snow in your neighbor's yard. Streets or other roadways so that it impedes the town's crews from clearing the streets. This includes pushing snow from private driveways or park lots onto the street or across the street to place snow on boulevards at intersections or sewer and storm manhole covers, water main valves, or fire hydrants. So the sewer and storm manhole covers that get water main valves, of course, yes. Fire hydrants, it's a no-brainer. However, the town seems to want to claim that no man's land from the road to the property line for snow removal, but if your water line gets frozen, oh, that's the property owners, that is all yours.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, so in one case, it's like, oh, no, this is ours, can't put stuff there, and another case, it's like, no, that's all you, that's property owner. So I take issue with that, and I think that, like, where are you gonna put the snow? And a lot of places aren't designed like to have, I mean, you gotta put it somewhere, especially on Campbell Way. There's so many houses in that one little spot. And like, there's just nowhere to put snow. You're supposed to throw it back up, take it back, like, you can't do that, right? Like. So I wish, we gotta figure out a different way to approach it, is what I'm saying. And then every owner or occupier shall remove snow or ice from entrances, driveways or laneways adjoining their property, so. That's basically saying. You know. That you need to plow your driveway mile less, and I feel. Like if somebody doesn't have a vehicle. I just think it's not our ballpark to play in.
Like to tell people what to do.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you, like, here's the thing, a lot of people, like, not a lot of people, but some people out there. Legitimately cannot afford to do that, and if you say that you need a Bobcat and a dump truck now to get your driveway. Plowed, A, it's gonna take twice as long, B, your cost is gonna skyrocket, because now you no longer just need a Bobcat, you need a dump truck. And you know, the costs are gonna go up, and I just don't see how us. Saying, well, we're gonna give you a fine is gonna make that, you know what I mean, I just don't like it. And then 9.02, no owner or occupier of real property shall cause permit or allow to the defacing of property, including graffiti, to be on any surface or structure of the property. It's not like you wanted somebody to come along and spray paint something on your house. And now you can get a fine because somebody spray painted your house. Am I the only one who sees this?
I understand.
It just, but if you read the point underneath, it's just,
I know, you get,
that you'll attempt to, I guess.
To clean it up, yeah, I think that's the whole.
I don't think that anyone would be fined for having their property vandalized, but I think it would just be that you'd be encouraged to hopefully have it removed eventually.
well, I get that, but it doesn't say that.
Well, it does, I mean, what it does. I bet if we go to we don't have the fine section yet. Or the.
I thought we were still on the road.
Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, I just one few things that I didn't like.
I know, but before we go to, I just wanted to I just also want to say something on that point we already passed, which was 7.02, where you said everyone shall remove from the entrances, driveways or laneways. My interpretation of this is that it's like on the edge where it meets like the town's infrastructure. And that actually is how the bylaw reads for a lot of other municipalities as well, that you're actually responsible for even the sidewalk in front of your property, even though it's not your property. And I know that I agree with you that not everybody has like the means to like have their yard like professionally cleared multiple times for winter, but they're clearing it somehow. Because if you didn't clear it at all, except for, I mean, I can think of maybe one or two places where there is like literally a little footpath in there, but they're clearing it somehow, whether it's a shovel or whatever. So if you have to like scoop the edge off, yeah, that's your responsibility as the person that resides there, in my opinion.
I think the town does clean a lot of snow away that is not theirs. Because we know that, like you said, spaces are tiny between a lot of houses, and we know that there's no place for them to put snow. And I've seen the guys out there picking it up all along the ditches. And then that's all private snow, a lot of it there, that's being pushed there. But I agree, You drive out of the hospital there's no reason for them to be pushing snow right outside where you have to stop and look. The kids play on there all the time, walking from school. And why? Whoever does the contract there, it is so unsafe. You can't see people. You are almost on the street before you can actually see oncoming traffic. Like, it's so unsafe. And so we've learned from that in Lower Post. That's exactly what happened when those kids got killed. Right? And so this is the reality, like safety, we need to be, what happens then? If people are pushing snow there, who's accountable if something like that happens? You know, and so it really needs to be strongly discouraged that people are pushing snow right where there's piles so high that people can't see to get out. The visibility is blocked. And it says here, push it to the back of your yard as much as you can. You know, if that's full, then yeah, where are you gonna put it? I don't think anybody expects anyone to pay a lot of money, you know, because I know the guys are already doing it. They remove a lot of snow that isn't town snow. I've seen it, you've seen it, we've all seen it.
Absolutely, yeah, and I don't question that one bit. It's just what's the best way to tackle that, you know what I mean?
The trapping for me is an issue. I don't know, everybody complains about trapping. Why do we trap? Why do we need to trap? Does all other communities trap, or is it just Watson Lake?
No, a lot of that has to do with you get like a little,
I know what trapping is, I'm just saying, everybody complains about trapping. Should we just get rid of the trapping?
We have a Cadillac snow removal service in Watson Lake. You go to any other municipality.
Just let 'em know.
Whitehorse is there.
Yeah.
And you go to any, like, you go to Porter Creek and you're, especially in like March.
Oh, forget it.
And if you are driving a Corolla, good luck, you need. About 4 minimum.
Yeah, we all know, well, you can't get your neighbor even.
You know,
Street,
and so
you've got
like,
this big amount of snow.
I'm not faulting our guys in their work at all. But like, the other thing is that I know that our reasoning for getting rid of the snow in the first place is because it softens up the BST, and in the springtime, you know, like allows for better drainage, the hardens up. However, are we like ripping every road up in town in the next 10 years and anyway?
We're gonna preserve what we have for now, Thomas.
I know, but it just. I'm not saying don't make it bad because you're just gonna mess it up again, but. It just,
Can you elaborate on the trapping and what other communities are doing?
they try to trap their best. It's not the trapping, it's this, like, where to put the snow. Right, and by having the grader come along and, you know, when you move snow, it gets hard the second time around. So I don't buy the grader blade argument one bit, because you push the snow, yes. And it does get hard, for sure, but no harder than where this town has already created. The side, like the edge, the road anyway. You know what I mean?
So your worship, going back to the council, yes, that question, other communities minimally trap snow, a lot of them don't. And to go back to Councilor Slager's question about 7.02, that section is put in there because when we do grade, we cut down so low that there's a drop off in between the roadway and the properties, and then it's everybody phoning, screaming that it's the town's responsibility that they have a drop off to their property, so they expect the town to come back and shave that drop off because they haven't kept their snow clear in their driveway. So that's to clear up, 7.2 to clear up that, where they keep coming back to the town to say that it's the town's responsibility to get rid of the hump, but then to clear it on their driveway.
Can we maybe, does it make sense to maybe reword that a little so that it says like the end of the driveway rather than, because it almost like reads like. You know, I can see why Thomas like thought that, but it kind of reads that you have to clear the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like if you want to charge through that winter, like that's on you, but.
And then the other thing that I didn't mention with the trapping is the fact that it depends on how driveways are set up in the municipality. If you have long spaces in between driveways, then a lot of time the trap will carry the snow past, but if there's driveways back to back, the trap can only carry so much snow, and then the next driveway gets the overflow, right? So there's all kinds of issues with that, and there's no doubt about it.
And that seems to be where most of the complaints are, is with the driving, I think.
Well, it's never ending complaints on all snow removal.
True. True. Yeah, if we could make 7.02 a little better.
I thought we had, so we haven't.
No, it's in the actual
agreed on
bylaw,
anything.
yeah, that's.
No, but they were just bringing those points to our attention, just so that we can consider them when we're like looking at the wording of this bylaw, because there is a snow removal bylaw.
Yeah,
There's just that one section here about where you can keep snow on your.
I know, the privilege
So
that,
that's all
the
we're
green
looking at,
belts, whatever.
where they're keeping their snow. Okay, on this one, okay, thank you.
That one little section, sorry, I didn't think about.
Are you done?
I'm gonna say like I'm glad that it's not in there and that we didn't put it in there, but the thing that I'm happy about that it's not in there. You know, it's worth mentioning, but like. For people in the green belt, people can't stuff snow into trees, but like, what do we do every spring? Every pocket of trees are kind of full of snow. So it's kind of like. Do as I say, don't do as I do. And I don't like that, I don't like
I
that.
think what they're saying though, Thomas, how I read it is. You're pushing it across the road, right? So like you said, first time you do it, okay, second time it gets more icy, right? So you have this buildup of ice, so now they've got this buildup of ice going this way, but they're going this way, so things get caught. Is what they're trying to say, and Cam, you'd be able to tell us if they're using a lot of greater blades or not.
Well, the greater blades, when you have a Cadillac service, it goes, you go through a lot of wear and tear on everything. The green belt, your question, your worship, has been issued because that's not the town's land that that snow's being pushed on. It's either crown land or interim protected or private land. So there has been issues over the last few years where people are pushing snow from their driveways across the street and into what they assume is a green belt. And then the next thing you know, we're getting complaints from property owners that own property, even though it's treaty, it's still somebody's private property. So, so that's where that came from.
Gotcha, I thought it was just like people. Well, green belt to me is like anywhere where there's just trees behind your house.
Like White Lake,
Yeah, like
watching
watching it.
it just down there and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
thinking
what I
like
do.
that.
But. You get the whole thing.
Or you can say something now and not have it.
I had never heard that argument before. I personally don't see the issue with like, if there's nothing over there, like pushing the snow across the thing, as long as you're not like breaking the trees off and stuff, which honestly happens when we are clearing snow, like I notice on 9th often, when the snow's being pushed into the ditch, like all the trees are being run over.
Well, like I said, I'm happy that it's not in there,
Sorry,
so we're actually talking about something that isn't in there.
yeah,
So
sorry.
maybe we should move on. Sorry to kill any more argument, but.
Okay, so what? I guess we just move on. Do you need us to? Say more?
Yes.
So I just would like follow up on that for the changes.
So the new owner, I just. You know, it's not like somebody's like, wow, I really like my new swastika that somebody put on my house. You know,
That's
or,
how that reads at all.
you know what I mean, like,
No, I don't know.
you know what I mean, like, I just don't like the fact that like, maybe we could say like. I see where 9.3 says, we are an owner or occupier of real properties received a notice from the town concerning defacement or graffiti on such properties, such owner or occupier shall make repairs. Maybe we could just add. Make repairs in a reasonable time frame to the property as detailed in the notes, like,
Well,
if you can't tent outside of -40.
It
Does say that.
Specific
Say that.
timeframe as determined is reasonable.
Oh, you got me there.
Alright,
I read 9.02 and just went off the handle.
Curious.
I didn't read 9.03 fully, sorry, that's my bad.
That whole section's in there, so if you get, you know, buildings in town that are either derelict or whatever, or, you know, we're trying to be we're a tourist lounge, so if we have people that spraying graffiti over there and the people that own the building don't care, and it says F you tourism, right? that type of thing, right? So it's trying to put steps in place that it's all compliance based, right? We're working with the property owner. It's not that we're minute you see it, we're bylaws running down there with the ticket book. That's the last thing we're doing, because I can guarantee we haven't wrote that ticket in town in the 8 years I've been in the position, so.
No, I understand, that it's a bit of a relevant rules.
I personally didn't have any other issues with this. I think that we have read this many times. I think I'd be prepared to, after, assuming those, little amendments are made, I personally would be prepared to take it to second reading.
With 0.7 with the snow? Just to clean up 7.02?
Yeah, administration's got it knowing that we'll
Okay.
work on the wording on that. Your worship, the only thing that we're waiting on for response back is from legal on the punishment section. And that's the only thing holding us up to go bringing it back for next reading, so it might, depending on when we get legal opinion back. It might be on the agenda for the next meeting, if not, it'll be.
Any, I was gonna say any idea how long that,
We've been waiting for a while now.
okay,
We've got a few bylaws in front of them right now. But we haven't got any responses. They had, one of our lawyers was actually injured in a motorcycle crash, so things have been a little slow on response time based on that, so.
okay, thank you. Everyone, and that brings us to the end of our agenda. We will do open, council open forum now. So if anybody has anything for open forum.
The question for CN Office, the public waste drop off, where they have big concrete blocks in the back of the. There's currently like 2 bins there, and are they gonna set that up so that they're gonna put bins inside those?
Yeah, so there's the roll off bins are on the inside, which are set down.
Yeah,
So then people instead of backing out to the landfill, to the site and just dropping stuff in the roadway and causing a mess and liability for us. It goes into the bins and then we move it to where it's required to go.
would it be, because I'm assuming that the bins are gonna be like metal. Household, something else?
It'll be, most of it will be C&D. There's the option for the third bin to be something different.
Would it be easier for landfill operators, because I've seen some landfills operate, you show up. You dump it out into that area which is usually paved, and there's places where the loader operator can go and pick it up. And then like use the concrete blocks as kind of a stopping point. No, we're not gonna do that at all. Okay.
Or not, that's just creating more
mess.
The roll-up bins have lids on them, so when at nighttime, if the bin's not full, the lid comes down, keeps the debris from going all over the landfill. We're trying to get in control. Because I'm getting really tired of getting letters from the environment that we got plastic bag tornadoes blowing around the landfill, so by doing that, that allows us to control where the waste goes, and when it's dumped in the spot, then our operator can deal with it. Because right now, as you know, when you go to the landfill, and I was there today again, people just drive in and they'll dump their garbage in the middle of the road unless somebody's standing there actually almost walking with a stick, right?
Yeah.
So by having the bins where it's supervised and under control, then we put it where we want it and it's back and it's dealt with. And it covers our liability as well, because if somebody gets hurt out of the pit or something, then it's back on us.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I just got about that, how is the housing accelerator fund going?
Housing Accelerator Fund, we've got 2 fully completed and approved applications in. And we have, I think I've heard as many as 10 other people that have been speaking to us in various forms. Of course, some that have come in aren't eligible because they own under the Housing Accelerator, mobile home lots aren't eligible. So there's a few of those properties that are on the list there. But it closes on the 16th at 4:30. I know for a fact that I contacted 2 different people in our office today. And I spoke with the this morning, and they are back and forth with a bunch of people that are actually doing it, but they've got two components ready to go.
Right on, that's great.
That's awesome.
That's really good. Yeah, and Jordan's information just is on our website, right?
It's on our website, it's on Facebook, we have an email account, it's in the community newsletter.
Yeah, no, and if anybody needs help with that procedure, they can go to Inman.
Yeah, they just send
Okay, perfect.
an email, emails being monitored.
I just was making sure, because I was telling you. Making sure, but that's good, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so and then the other thing that's, to go with that, yeah, they're doing that support, they're helping people fill in the applications. To make sure they've got all the documents, they're even helping source information and working as a liaison between them and the building.
Nice, that's good, okay, thank you.
What's the plan with the tourist information? Are they going to stay in the Rockford?
Not sure yet. I have a meeting with them the 21st of August, I believe. We did meet with the minister and the deputy minister. Conversations were had about moving them to the Northern Lights Center. Just so we can get our gym area back at the rec center. So we're gonna meet the minister and deputy minister, like the space at the Northern Lights Center, they like that whole sort of ambiance there. The vibe, yes. So it's actually the manager and their realty division that are coming down to meet with Shannon and myself and.
But I thought that was an option offered to them originally and it wasn't big enough.
No, it wasn't that it was big enough, it was the personalities didn't like it. There was a disagreement on opinions. And YG now, tourism have a new minister, new deputy minister, and a new director of the visitor information centers, and their approach is totally different now, so.
And after we put in that beautiful dome and all over, and it was, that's something that.
Well, no, it's not, they're gonna work in the lobby.
Oh, okay.
No, we're still, the Northern Lights Center will still.
That's ours, we're just getting rent from them.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we just didn't know how that would work,
Yeah,
right?
well, those things we have to work out, but you know, if they even wanna go there, because originally they were. The plan was that they were gonna go in, they were gonna be the anchor tenant for the Art First Nation and their big fancy cultural administration center. That they were proposing that they wanted to take land from the town to build on. And so that whole thing has disappeared. And so now tourism, because their lease is up, their lease is up in September. So now they're looking for something. Either a long term with us in the rec center or moving over to the Northern Lights Center being.
I think that would be really appealing.
So, and then if they do go to Northern Lights Center, it actually helps us because then it changes our whole staffing model, right? And it'll actually bring more people in there and there's ability to run their show with our shows. So they come in and watch the Northern Lights show and they still get the same tours. Show either in the end or behind.
The Sandy dump,
Sorry?
the Sandy dump, that was gonna be, we still going ahead with that where it is, at its current.
No, the Senate is back in, will be in the budget stuff this year.
So we paused it?
We paused it because we didn't get the funding, but we applied to 2 different funding pots.
Okay.
And council did not budget, for separately, I brought it forward. Okay, we weren't at the one meeting, but I brought it forward and, council wasn't willing to waiver on moving some of the other money that was set aside to continue that project.
We didn't.
Yeah.
Is there any way that, the new process at the dump, that we can see that in action?
Oh, yes, well,
Is it already happening now?
no,
No.
no, as per my report, we're waiting on our truck to be repaired, so then we can do self-help videos. Patrick, my guru of QR codes, will have links and.
Pamphlets and
We're gonna,
stuff,
yeah, and we're gonna have staff there walking everybody through it.
Perfect, thank you.
It's based on the transfer sites that are in all, like, major cities.
Yeah.
Your turn.
My turn? Thank you, Dale, for asking what the housing accelerator fund is, so wondering about that. I have just a couple little things. One, you mentioned the lot development on Francis. Glad to hear that that's moving along, clipping along. I'm just wondering if we know now when the lots are gonna be for sale. And if we can maybe request an update in that respect, from, I don't know, is it Lands or whatever, if they can either just give us a note or, I don't know.
Your worship, I made that request a month ago to have a meeting with the director of EMR Lands and the director of community services lands, because as you know, it's this goofy thing, the development of lot falls under community services lands branch, but then EMR lands branch and their silo is the one that gets to decide how much money their lot's gonna be selling for and when they're gonna sell them, and if they're gonna hold a lottery or if they're gonna sell them over the counter.
I'm sorry, you said EMR?
EMR, yeah. So I've requested a meeting with the two of them, and so I'm still waiting on a date on that.
Okay,
But as soon as I know it's on, I know it's on your radar because people are asking the community. And then the other question is, how are they gonna release it? Are they gonna release all 23 lots for sale, you know, in one go? And then people maybe want this lot down here, but then Lands comes and says, oh, we're gonna put this one up for sale, not that one, right? So it gets really tricky. So, and for us, it really doesn't much matter because the water and sewer will be operational and we'll have to keep the flow going even in the winter time. So, yeah.
thank you. My next question is about the structural protection units. You had a bunch of people training on those this year, and I was just curious if that is something that will need to be done annually or.
Well, we got funding to do that program. And under that funding, it was a 2-year training window. So in the proposal, we would have their instructors back next year to do the next level of that training.
Oh, it sounds like my mom.
So the next level of that training, but our guys our fire department is training in it every day. Last Thursday was structural protection training. They actually set up pumps and sprinklers. The whole public works yard was set up with numerous sprinklers, and they went through the whole scenario and doing that kind of stuff. So it's fresh on everyone's mind, especially after Jasper. So those things are still out there, and it goes hand in hand with that. You know, Mayor Urban sent a letter to the Premier requesting Yukon government get involved to push for the signing of our community wildfire protection plan for the municipality, because currently the Art First Nation is not willing to sign off on having the fire smarting and those protectional things put in place, because they want it done as under their multi-year land planning exercise, where they will let us know what they'll allow to be done in municipal boundaries in years from now.
Okay,
So.
thanks. I was just curious because, yeah, fortunately, we've been blessed as far as, I don't want to say anything, I'm gonna jinx it, but as far as fires go this year, and I just was thinking, we just got them, and so everybody got the training because it was like a new thing that we had. But then next year, when it's like a year later and they've never used it before, like, wouldn't it probably be a good idea to just like maintain that, knowledge? My next question is, and I don't know if you will know this or not, maybe. Do you know how much like organic stuff goes into the landfill?
193 ton.
Is that exact? I was like, oh my God. I was just curious because, and I'm not really proposing anything, I was just saying this just so they could hear it, but, so I was talking with, my counselors for Dawson, when we were at FCM, and they have a pilot project going right now where they've given those, organic or like food waste recyclers, to everybody in the community, and, to kind of divert some of the stuff that's going to landfill, and so you basically like put your food scraps in this thing and it like, I don't know exactly how it works, but it turns it into like instead of dust or whatever, dirt, yeah, you throw it in your garden, you throw it outside, whatever, rather than throwing it in the trash, and I thought that was a neat concept, and I was just curious how much of those types of materials are actually going into landfill.
I could probably get you an estimate on that, but it's really hard because it goes in with their household waste. Dawson City, they, if I remember correctly, weren't provided free of charge. They subsidized the purchase of them.
Okay,
And Page Junction also did a pet project or test project, pilot project, pet project, it's all the same. They did the same with the same tabletop composter, so it's like putting a new air fryer gadget on your counter, you put it in, you run it through the cycle, you gotta clean it, and it makes sort of biochar or something they call it.
yeah,
But both of those projects, you get a few people that wanna do it, and then the rest of it sort of died, like, Haynes Junction, I think it ordered, they had a pre-order, and there was 2 different sizes, but some of the people that ordered in the first place never did pick them up, and then people that have started using them stopped using them, so it takes, if somebody's gonna compost, they're gonna compost no matter what. So these projects have been tried and then sort of failed, so.
I believe that was it for me. Thank you.
I have another question.
Sure.
There, or the walk around the lake here, there's been people that are talking about it getting pretty overgrown. Is there any desire to cut down?
The trail maintenance.
Make it trail?
Yeah, staff is doing some trail maintenance, it just depends on timing and how many staff they have.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Okay, so that will be it for council open forum. So you have gallery open forum as well. I know we just had the public hearing, but we do have gallery open forum. So if anybody has anything that they want to add, maybe on a different topic or anything that they thought of, we will open it up.
I'm opposed to a gate hanging below the town flag. It makes it look like it's representing the whole town. And it's not.
Okay.
We already have 2 pride flags hanging on the highway, which is where I thought was a place for flags from other countries. Anybody that's following that is a Canadian. We have a Canadian flag there. So that's my view on those things.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can I, maybe just add a few comments on the snow removal discussion you guys just had there? I'm, part of a company that does snow removal in the winter time, and, I think that, maybe, what us as contractors would like to see is the opportunity to get together and have a discussion about this with perhaps Glenn or whoever in Public Works that's pushing to stop a lot of the things that we've been doing for years, and you know, see if we can't work together on it rather than turn it into a punitive issue. Because I mean, I know what this came up from. It was the last heavy snowfall year we had, and you guys hauled a lot of snow. We hauled a lot of snow too. I hauled more snow that year than I pushed the year before. But you know, you don't get that every year. So what's wrong with using the space if it's available? I guess is the question that I would to have answered. So yeah, okay, we get a heavy snowfall, so yeah, we'll haul snow. Got no problem with that. And most of the people that were plowing snow for don't have a problem with that. It's usually the commercial So, but I mean, if you don't have to spend money hauling snow and, it's gonna melt away and just drag off like it normally does. I don't see a problem using the space.
Thanks, Rick.
Just thinking about with this comment about the flag and I'm thinking like the town's view on, different things and we don't want inclusion, I mean, that's, we could do that all the time and all this stuff. I'm not sure that we should be making a political statement like that at our town hall or our town office, and we have Wide Lake Park over here, you're considering possibly doing a flagpole. Wide Lake Park is for all users, it's for, everybody seems to use that, every different group seems to get to use the park, gazebo, whatever, maybe a flagpole should be put there, and then if you're gonna approve for a flag, we put up or something, or maybe that one could be at Wide Lake Park, or just think the political side of it and different things, and I'm not just really 100% comfortable with it being at the town office. Yeah, we do have a spot over there that, on the flagpole up there, so there's other groups too that want to do something similar. And rather than be at our town office where some people may not agree with it, just a thought, just throw it out there, just think of your comments.
Thanks, Mark. Nargis?
Yeah, and alongside what they were saying, my thinking is that there are so many different groups in the community. And with that special poll that you were talking about, like let's assume we have the 3 polls, the 3 flags, and then one we have for special. So then every group of people, they want that special flag of their country or of their representation maybe there. And where do you, and I don't see the usefulness of it to begin with, and as also Linda indicated on the highway, throughout the highway, we do have flags of many different countries with the rainbow flag and everything else, and I think that's the appropriate place to go, whereas the town area, town hall and town buildings, we do have representation of the country's flag, Canada, Yukon flag, and the municipality's flag. And those are the flags that everybody, disregard to background, I'm a Middle Eastern, American, Canadian. So it doesn't matter who we are, where we are from, and what we believe or not. The Canadian, Yukon, and whatsoever, those are the flags that everybody unified, is being unified. And whatever specific flag that has to, I think alongside of the highway that they are representative, that would be enough, although what Gord suggested, that might be another option, but I also oppose any other flag, not just a rainbow flag, any other flag to be under Canada flag or next to the 3 poles.
Thanks, Marcus. Anyone else?
Hello?
Sure, let's go to the gallery. Go ahead, Ben.
Hi. Cam, I'm just wondering when the deputy minister and the minister of tourism come down here to talk to you about the Northern Light Center, I would like to know if you would invite us, the staff of the visitor center over there, so that we can give them, our big bosses, our opinion of the Northern Light Center.
You're probably not allowed to talk to the staff, I'm guessing.
Well, Button, just so you know, it is your boss that is coming to the meeting.
Which boss?
Jeff.
Sorry?
Jeff.
You're
Leela's
talking
boss.
about Leela or Jeff?
Jeff.
Okay, that's great, because Jeff has communication with his team, unlike the deputy ministers.
Yes, it's Jeff, definitely Jeff that's coming to the meeting.
Okay, that's great. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Mary, did you have anything that you wanted to add? Okay, Patty. You can unmute.
Yes, thanks. I just wanted to talk a bit about the snow removal. I guess they seem like new provisions. So when we talked about the bylaw before, about the nuisance bylaw, and we had quite a discussion at a town hall meeting about snow removal. And yet we seem to be trying to put new things in at this stage, and I'm not quite sure what stage this bylaw is at. So first of all, I want to say that I'm largely in agreement with things that Thomas said tonight. And I just think that when I hear about some of these things, I think common sense has left the building. And I really think that maybe homeowners need to be involved in some kind of discussion. And if you have problem people, then why in the world aren't they being dealt with instead of giving everybody a whole new set of laws? So that's my only comment tonight. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, sorry.
Well, back to the flag thing, do we not have a flagpole over by the ball diamond? That we could use? And that would alleviate. Take our issue?
Yeah, sorry, there's no flagpole that's active, it's just the basic one, little short one that's got the town, it's on the ball diamond fence. There's no separate, there's no flagpole.
When, Karen, do you know of any, sorry, can I see a lot, but do you know of any flag protocols? I don't know them offhand, it's not something I'm well versed in, but I really don't want like break any sort of long-standing traditions with set flags, and I think having two on the same pole is, I don't know. Can we look into that?
We can look at protocols, odds are it's gonna say that, if it isn't allowed, then ours, the town of Watson Lake flag would have. And I thought that's what council had suggested initially, so.
Gotcha.
Anyone else?
No.
Okay, so that concludes gallery open forum. We do not have anything for in-camera today, I do not believe. So we just need a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you, all in favor. Passed.